I got to talking with the bartender, Eamon. And Eamon, when I met him, he was 55 years old. He'd been working in the bar since he was 15. And he knew where all the skeletons were buried. And Eamon would not rest, but that I have a glass of their whiskey. They brewed their own whiskey called McConvilles, obviously. And Eamon insisted that I had to have a drink before I left. And poured me out some, and then poured water into it, because he insisted that it had to be drunk with cold water. And but as he was pouring the water in, he said, "Oh, here's a tear for the sober," he says. Poured the water in, and it was really, really good. It was an exceedingly great drop of whiskey. I'm not one for the smoky whiskeys. This was just a nice, clean Irish whiskey. And my dad was feeling poorly at the time over on this side of the water, and I thought it would be great if I could bring him back a bottle of something that was brewed near where he lived. And so I asked Eamon if I could buy a bottle to take back from a poor ailing dad. And he said no. I said, "Really?" He says, "No." He says, we don't sell it to take away. The rule at McConvilles is that you can only drink it in McConvilles. We don't let it leave the place. And I said, in 90 years, a bottle has never left the bar. And he said, "No." And then he went, "Well, once." And this is the story he told me about that. I worked down at McConvilles. That's the pub behind the square. If ever you're in Portland, anyone can point you there. We have lagers, ales, and porters. But the thing that brings them in is the whiskey that McConville brews. That's where this all began. In all the years I've worked there, and for 50 years before, not a bottle of the sweet stuff ever walked outside the door. 'Cause McConville laid the rule down, and it was honored till today. You can drink your fill while at the bar, but the bottle has to stay. And 6 or 7 years ago, when young Jimmy first came by, he was looking for a local. We were the third place that he'd try. And he looked around, no ferns, no telly blaring from the bar. And once he tried the whiskey, Jimmy never strayed too far. He'd come in after dinner for an hour, maybe more. He'd play some cards and talk and joke, 'cause that's what a local's for. Before he'd leave most nights, because the bottles had to stay, he'd ask me for a whiskey just to see him on his way. And 3 days ago his mate came in. He said Jimmy took a fall from the roof that he was working on. He had no chance at all. And today after the funeral, after burying young Jim, they came here to his second home. The mourners crowded in. Then I did a thing I never thought I'd do till it was done. I took a bottle from the shelf, I held it up for everyone. And I said, rules are made for breaking. Tonight the whiskey leaves the bar. An auction for the family give me 50 pounds to start. At 500 pounds the bidding stopped, and though ya couldn't hear a sound but for the roar as Jimmy's mate stepped up and laid their pay packs down. And I can't believe I did it. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd hand someone the bottle and then watch it walk away. As I was headed home tonight, I passed the graveyard by, and I swear that I heard singing and silhouetted on the sky with Jimmy's friends, and they were pouring something on his grave. Little offering for young Jim to see him on his way. And I worked down at McConvilles. That's the part